I gotta do this crazy is life imitating art or art imitating life thing. The pyramid in Giza, the main one, the big one, the one that people ponder how it was built or how many people it took or how did they move the stones. It had at one point a reflecting pool in it to give the appearance of a self-executing Herkimer sandstone, which sandstone is a crystal, but I didn't know. Anything's possible, right? I don't know that it is or that it isn't. But the most interesting pyramid is not the largest one. That's the one that most people ponder about. It's the smallest one because the smallest one is the one that has the blocks that are not even or not cut by man. Obviously, they're like all different shapes. Maybe they're cut by man, but they're all different shapes, and then they fit in perfectly with a less than a half of like was less than like half a micron or some shit like that. They're basically hermetically sealed in between, and it could be life imitating art. If that is a self-executing Herkimer sandstone, that would make sense why we built a reflection pool. And even though you would be like, well, nature wouldn't, like, why would a crystal form with blocks like it was made by man? But to make them uneven and imperfect, but still fit better than man can place them, as to gloat over it, like, haha, can you impress with a better monolith? Can you do a better monolith? Can you do this? Can you do this? Ha ha ha. See, it's still like better, right? So, like, maybe that wasn't the intention, but maybe, right, it starts there. And since the fall, right, we fell from uh, um, we fell from order with the mundane. And you think about it, like, order is like likened to everything being in its place, and you're all prepared, and it's like a little paradise. Order, right? Hermeticism, a seal, like a seal. The seal is like a harbinger of a technology. Like whenever you notice there's a new kind of a seal, there's a whole another social economic structure around it. The mail used to be a wing of the military. They just made sure you can't look inside of them. Can't look inside of the mail because they're protecting a seal. Now it's a root seed text hash and a executable blockchain like pro- protocol. Like it's a format, like you know, and so you can authenticate data. But okay, go back to the thing, right? We we are imitating, but it's imitating us. Like arts imitates us, we're imitating it. But it was the ones who wanted to study such things, right? So they saw something, and they imparted that to everybody else. Something that and if you notice, all the pyramids are not perfectly symmetrical. Like they're a little tilt, like a little bit off, like they're not perfectly symmetrical. Neither are the Herkimer, self-executing Herkimer diamonds or crystals. Um, so other stones that look like crystals: sandstone, basalt, and granite, which are used to make the jet pillars. Again, like it's an energy symbol, right? And then we imitate that with our voting system, right? Our volt is your vote. One rung of the Djed is one vault. Uh, so there's visible there's visible warbling between the rungs of the Djed pillar, like a really big one, because it's accumulating, absorbing, and resonating electrolysis. What's electrolysis? It's perfect symmetry in motion. So we get a science, like we get a science. I ran into this wall kind of. This is where I was thinking, and then I kind of like, uh, well, you know, some of this stuff is important. If you're already looking into this kind of thing, and you're already interested in this, and then somebody opened a conversation like that, you'd be an asshole if you didn't like jump in the conversation, if you didn't like foster it a little bit. But if it's not something that you were into, and you didn't know any of this stuff to begin with, then then you cannot force this information on them, on those people. They're not asshole if they're not interested, you know, because maybe they have like, maybe they're the time people or something, or like it's like they're about their agenda, you know, and so if you could build a wavelength on that, then you're doing the work, right? Uh, yeah, because if we fall out of order with the mundane, right? You go to work, you'd have to do some kind of work, which is why we agree to have it in incarnation. Now, right now, it seemed like I'm just in discovery, but I wanted to tell y'all. It's just sometimes I have to kind of speak in a way that's like I'm talking to somebody who's not really there to have the conversation to take it to a different level. But it turns out, right, maybe that's insufficient. And what you don't know is that is oh yeah, you remember it, you know, but you always end up doing something greater than what you thought, basically, or expressing something greater than what you thought you would be able to express. You just had to initiate. You just have to initiate. Okay, so I'm gonna just end the video because I'm getting off into that emptiness and form area, you know, over intellectualizing, and then I won't know anything. So let me go ahead and